amount that it did during the financial crash of 2008. So financial companies doing enough to help people meet costs? Well, with more on this now, I'm joined by Alistair Douglas. He's Chief Executive of the credit broker Totally Money. Alistair, welcome to you. I mean, the Bank of England's predicting that inflation is going to peak at 7.25%. Do you believe that forecast, or do you think it could be worse than that?
Well, I think there's every reason to believe the forecasts. But on the other hand, if you look back at the history over the last 6 months, each forecast, the inflation figure gets higher than the previous one. So I think 7% looks very likely. That's obviously an increasingly large number, and that's going to cause problems for people across the UK, particularly people with low income.
So you're a credit broker and you're a credit scoring app provider. What are you seeing at the moment in terms of customer behaviour? I mean, we heard last month that credit borrowing interest, unsecured borrowing has started to rise again. You're seeing that, presumably.
Yeah, that's right. We're a credit app. We have 4 million customers in the UK. We help them improve their credit score. We help them harness all their financial information to take good actions to improve their credit score and improve eligibility. We have seen borrowing increase. It's still way below the types of figures that we saw before Corona. Actually, on average, consumers paid debt back over the course of the Corona crisis. And as we kind of exit it, we're at a lower base than where we were before the beginning of Corona.
And in terms of the type of borrowing that is being taken on, are you seeing much change there? I mean, obviously, the rise of Klarna and other buy now, pay later providers has been one of the big stories over the last couple of years.
Absolutely. Well, in general, the consumer credit market is not transparent, and there's all kinds of problems that consumers face. You can read reports from the likes of Step Change, which go into all of that. Buy now, pay later is obviously something that's been around for years, but in its current form, as an e-commerce type play, is growing incredibly quickly. It's unregulated. There's evidence that consumers don't really understand that they're signing up to what's effectively a credit agreement. And I think it is problematic. We hear from consumers who find that it's hard to keep track of all of these buy now, pay later schemes, for example. So it's definitely something to keep an eye out for.
Yes, David Duffy from Virgin Money told me earlier this week consumers seem more fixated on the buy now bit rather than the pay later bit.
Well, absolutely. It's very tempting if you're shopping for clothes, for example, to kind of put off having to pay. People forget that with a credit card, actually you're protected with Section 75 against fraud and other things. And also that obviously there's a very long interest-free period of up to 56 days as well. It's not to say that using a credit card is the right thing to do either. But I do think that consumers need to go into these types of buy now, pay later agreements with their eyes wide open.
Alistair, I can remember a time when interest rates were getting on for 10%, if not higher than that. What does it say about us as a country, the fact that a rise in interest rates to just half of 1% has been greeted with such dismay?
Yeah, well, I can just about remember that as well. And yeah, absolutely. Like, these interest rates are very low by historical standards. But I think it's not the interest rate move really that's the big news and the big impact on our customers this week. Our customers, broadly speaking, it's about half of the population, people who maybe on average only have £300 worth of savings and can't sustain a big financial shock. And actually, it's the energy price rise, which obviously you've just been talking about, that's having a much bigger impact. The interest rate rise is probably only going to cost on average about 12 quid a month for people with a mortgage. If you're renting and you're on average or low income, then the energy price rise is going to be costing you on average about 700 quid, even more if you're on a prepay meter. And then obviously you've got inflation to contend with, universal credit going back, and the forthcoming rise of tax on national insurance. So actually, those are the drivers really for our customers rather than the interest rate change.
Now, the Bank of England Governor Andrew Bailey is calling for pay restraints. What are you doing at Totally Money? Are you giving all of your employees an above inflation pay rise this year?
So we have just concluded our pay review. We are very invested in our staff. What we do is very specialist. We have to work very closely with data and building a tech product and app. So we do lots of benchmarking and investment. We recently were in the top 5 for the best financial companies in the UK on the Best Companies to Work For award, which we're really proud of. But we tend to benchmark against what the market is doing, and the market is increasing pay at the moment.
All right, Alistair Douglas, thanks for joining me today. It's much appreciated.
Thanks for having me.
Well, still to come here on Ian King Live. We'll have a look at how global markets are going into the weekend. Stay tuned.
We all have to sleep, and it is hugely important. So it's about getting good routines, getting yourself in a position where you can actually get some good quality sleep. And that way your body rests, recovers, and you can try and have a good day the following day. Some of the stats that we've been working with dreams has been kind of worrying in a way. 75% of people saying that it really affects their mental health, not having a good night's sleep. And that's something that we definitely can work at to get better, so we can all feel better as well. With nerves for athletes, I think one of the biggest things you get told, which is very, very important, is that if you are very nervous the night before a competition, as long as you've had plenty of sleep leading up to that one moment, if it's slightly broken, it's not going to affect you as much. But again, if you can get yourself into good routines, even things like nerves, you can combat. And actually thinking about anything but the thing that you're about to do. It's quite difficult, obviously, when you're going into something like an Olympic final, but having other interests, reading a book and going through your routines genuinely can be a brilliant way of actually making sure you do get some sleep. And I think at night, we've all fallen foul of it. We check Instagram, Twitter, an email, whatever it might be, a text message between a friend, that one last time. And then your brain starts to get fired up again and you can't get to sleep. And before you know it, you've gone down a rabbit hole of looking at crop rotation from the 13th century. You have no idea what's going on and you haven't slept properly. And these are things, as I say, if you get into a routine, for me, is getting rid of the devices now before going to sleep, trying to have a hot bath if the children permit, if they're not going too mad, or at least a shower. Pillow spray is a really good one. We tried this with the children. I really like the smell of it, so I did it myself on my own pillows. And it's about getting your brain to associate certain things with going to sleep.
Well, the oil price is sharply higher this morning after harsh winter weather swept across much of the United States, threatening to disrupt supplies. A barrel of Brent crude, as you can see, is currently changing hands at $92.53 a barrel. That is up 1.5%. Well, on the equity markets, despite a sell-off last night on Wall Street, during which the Nasdaq fell by 3.75%, stocks in the Asia-Pacific region had a much better time of it overnight. The Nikkei 225 in Tokyo rallied late on to complete its first weekly gain in 5. Meanwhile, the Hang Seng in Hong Kong returned from the Lunar New Year holiday to post a gain of 3.25%. You can ignore the Shanghai price. The market there remains closed. It's going to reopen on Monday. In Europe, stocks have been pretty much to the downside since the open a couple of hours ago or so. Here's the current situation. The MIB in Milan, the pick of the bunch, they're off 1.25%. Talking points in Europe include TomTom, the Dutch digital mapping company. Its shares are off some 12% in Amsterdam following disappointing quarterly results. Well, here in London, the FTSE 100 is doing slightly better than that, partly because of the composition of the index. The oil majors BP and Shell have added nearly 30 points to the index on their own on that higher oil price. They're also the biggest gainers in percentage terms. You can see BP, they're up nearly 3%, also up after yesterday's confident trading update. I was talking about that this time yesterday. The catering giant Compass, its shares up nearly 1.5%. Well, outside the FTSE, another caterer is well bid this morning. SSP, I mentioned them a moment or so ago, shares up 1.75% nearly there on its trading update. Meanwhile, Oxford Biomedica is ahead by some 2.5% after raising nearly £40 million in a new share issue. On the foreign exchange markets, well, it's all been about the euro for the last 24 hours after some unexpectedly hawkish comments yesterday from the European Central Bank. The single currency is up against both the US dollar and the pound, sterling itself down by 0.5% against the euro, off by just over 0.25% right now against the greenback. Well, joining me now is Fahad Kamal. He's Chief Investment Officer at Kleinwort Hambro. Fahad, very good morning to you. What did you make of what the ECB said yesterday? I mean, everyone's been assuming there'll be no rate hike this year, and they indicated yesterday, well, there might be after all.
Yeah, well, obviously, look, a few points. Number one is that inflation clearly is becoming much more of a worry at this juncture than it was maybe even a month or two ago, right? So there's no question that the ECB has to be cognizant of the inflation numbers and be seen to do something about it. It can't just rely on what is still the only central bank that's relying on the word transitory. But more importantly than that, it's the upside surprise that has really caused the bounce in the euro. I mean, nobody was expecting the ECB to be as hawkish as they were, even though that's a very relative term. And that's obviously helped euro. And always, it's a good reminder for us that it's not necessarily what people are going to do, but it's what they're expected to do and how they perform in relation to that.
Now, obviously, the big discussion point over the last 24 hours, apart from the Bank of England rate rise, is obviously energy prices. Lest we forget, I mean, we often talk about higher oil prices as a tax on growth. Are you starting to adjust your portfolio and your assumptions on what higher crude prices are going to mean for wider growth, the impact on corporates?
Not really. We haven't yet. I mean, obviously, we recognize that there is a huge inflationary impact of higher crude prices, and that has been reflected dramatically in the current inflation rates. I mean, today at $90 or so a barrel of Brent compared to $45 or so a year ago, it's having a huge base effect. Having said that, we don't expect this to carry on indefinitely. There has been supply constraints. We know that OPEC is raising its amount of its quotas. Not that its constituents are able to match those quota rises, but nonetheless, the direction is of more supply. And the U.S. has been uncharacteristically disciplined in its increasing shale production for a long time. If prices continue in the 90s and even beyond, we doubt that discipline will stay. So therefore, we don't expect oil prices to carry on this inexorable rise, but to moderate, if not fall slightly.
Now, one of the interesting things for me yesterday in what the Bank of England said was that they're not going to be reinvesting, they're not going to be rolling over their asset purchases, their bond holdings, when those holdings matured. Can you foresee much disruption in the gilt market as a result of this?
It's possible. A lot of it will depend on the pace at which they, one thing is to do balance sheet runoff, which is to just not reinvest the proceeds of those gilts that have matured. And it's another thing which they've alluded, which is actually selling gilts back to the market proactively. A lot of it will depend on the pace and the rise in, and how much really the Bank of England can tolerate the subsequent rise in long-term yields. Having said that, we think that they'll continue to err on the side of caution. We expect, maybe the base rate to be at about, give or take, between 75 and 100 basis points by year end. 10-year yields are not going to rise tremendously from where they are now. And we think that the gilt market should be able to absorb what is actually a healthy paradigm of us being less reliant on what was a emergency measure.
Absolutely. Good to hear that. Fahad, lovely to see you again. Thanks for joining me. Well, the pandemic has provided time for many of those well-needed DIY.
Welcome to Gabby Dave Global. We are a UK-based online e-commerce store, the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabby Dave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabby Dave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far. Here are some of the benefits of using Gabby Dave Global. User-friendly platform, track your shipment, online support, transparent process, multiple SKUs, multiple products, a platform that encourages manufacturers as well as traders. Our marketing and PR interventions amplifies yours. Organized products and categories for easy access and navigation. Access to global community, especially within UK and Europe.
send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Tune in to On Point here on Star Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Star Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Hi there, this is CJ Buckman, your life coach. And whenever I'm in London, I listen to Star Radio UK right here. But guess what? You can listen to wherever you are.
Show them you got the cocoa set. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Harry Song, aka Mr. Songs. This is the Kingmaker Baba for the girls. We're here. This is Star Radio. Don't go nowhere. UK, London. We they call them London for home. For here, we they call them London. And that's how you know. Just have fun and stay blessed.
The best radio show. Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world. In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
This is Star Radio UK.
Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
Smile though your heart is aching. Smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. Hey, this is Archie, and you are listening to Starr Radio UK and the Morning Show.
All around the world. In your car,
At work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
The coolest way to start your weekend.
This is Starr Radio. This is Starr Radio UK. This is Starr Radio UK.
I love you, Lord. Oh, your mercy never fails me. All my days I've been held in your hand. From the moment that I wake up until I lay my head, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God.
Welcome.
'Cause all my life you have been faithful, and all my life you have been so.
Oh, yes. Massive good morning to you wherever you might be on planet Earth, and those of you on other planets as well. I say hello wherever you might be on planet Earth. It might be afternoon or evening or dawn, whichever is appropriate or applicable. I say hello to you and welcome to the Friday edition of the Morning Show. Today is the 4th day of February, the year 2022. And as we say here on Starr Radio UK, your weekend starts from where? Here. So don't touch the dial. Rather share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages. But let me acknowledge Iretunde Obadina. Iretunde, wherever you are, massive good morning to you. And thank you very much for joining the broadcast this morning as well. But let me say morning to my crew. To Mr. Frank Davis, massive good morning to you. And Mr. Olayomi Koiki, Kojo D, Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, our money man, Felix all the way in Aberdeen, and then to our able producer, Mr. Francis Guy. Gentlemen, massive good morning to you. And our listeners in the USA, the Makivas, Mr. Isaac Makiva, Albert Makiva, and Sidal Makiva, massive good morning to you and to your families there as well. Comforter Heavy in Minnesota, salute to you, lady. And Mr. John Buama in Texas. John, good morning to you. I hope you are doing good.
I love you, Lord.
And to our listeners in Europe, those of you in Asia, those of you in Australia, and those of you on the African continent, especially those of you in Nigeria, in Ghana, in South Africa, Uganda, and Kenya. Yes, we salute you all. We hope every one of you is doing very well. And thank you once again for tuning in to join us today. Let us make your Friday hop on. Yes, if you are standing, hold on to something. If you are sitting, I mean, if you can push, like in Ghana, they say, Achichiaya, if you can push for somebody to sit by you, that is by sharing, just do so as well. And let's take this journey. Well, at times that get bumpy, but I promise you one thing. I'll get you to your destination. Once again, welcome to the show. I remain yours sincerely, the one and only.
This is the morning show with Archie.
Playing in the background, the goodness of God by the Joyful Way Incorporated, a cover version of it. Yeah, we need the goodness of God this time, you know. It's serious. If you look at all the interest rate, the energy bills, the fuel hikes, the prices, you know, when it comes to your salary, your wages, that is stagnant, you know, and everything that seems to be going on. Actually, you need the goodness of God. If not, Charlie. But whatever it is, we're going to make sure that we are here all the way holding your hands to making sure that we guide you through the times and the seasons that we find ourselves in. I say it all the time. Once you have life, you have hope. So keep on hoping on. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give in. Okay, it's your first time of tuning in to listen to what this is how the program goes on Friday. On Fridays, yes, I'm going to bring you the coach for the day. The weather forecast will follow suit, then the travel update as well. We'll move on from there to have a look at some of the stories making the rounds across the globe, known as global trotting. Then exacte moi. At 11 o'clock, I'll be having Mr. Olayomi who will be joining in to bring you updates from Nigeria. If you want to know some of the issues that we're going to be discussing this morning from Nigeria or the updates, yes, go to our Facebook page. It's been posted there already. Some have been posted there. Insecurity. We are tired of daily killings. 400 ethnic groups tell the federal government. Insecurity. We are tired of daily killings. 400 ethnic groups tell the federal government. You know what brought about the coup d'etat in Burkina Faso? They were talking about the insecurity in that country. They were saying that the various attacks from the various sets, whether it's ISWAP or ISIS Africa or whatever they call themselves, they thought that they've had enough of it, and therefore if the government is not doing that much, then the military have to come in to see to that. And that is what brought about their coup d'etat. But while the president of Nigeria has come to say that, well, there is not going to be any coup d'etat in Nigeria, and I say, why? Is it because it's in bed with the military hierarchy? Well, we'll see about that. But whatever it is, you want more? Yes, I'll be bringing you more. We're going to have Mr. Olayomi bringing you updates from Nigeria exactly at 11 o'clock. Then at 12 o'clock exactly, we'll be opening the lines for you to add your voice to the discussions. Maybe you have any story, maybe you have any comments that you want to share with us. Feel free to do so. Just go to our Facebook page and post it there. But when the lines are open, you can call in and share your take with us as well. Then at 12:30, yes, we shut the line down, and then we'll be having our money man, Mr. Dan Tebiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, on the money hour as well. At 1 o'clock, we bring the curtains down for the end of the program. So in a gist, that is what is going to be happening today. So once again, thank you very much for being part of this journey. From archaeology to zoology, from Accra to Zanzibar, if it's making the headlines, why not? I promise you, I'm going to touch on that. It's now 10:42 from the House of London. Let's crack on. The quote for the day says, critically evaluate the impact of the decisions and the actions you are making today on your future. Critically evaluate the impact of the decisions and actions you are making today on your future. Well, let's move on straight to the weather front. On my way, this morning it's been raining here in London and the southeast of England. But how is the weather going to be for us for the rest of the day and over the weekend as well? Let me tell you more about it. And this afternoon, any lingering rain will soon clear away to the east the southeast. It will then remain mostly dry and cloudy, although sunny spells will develop in places. Now tonight will remain largely dry with just a few patchy clouds at first. Now overnight it will remain dry and clear skies will develop for most strong winds expected as well. The temperature is going to be 11 degrees, the lower is going to be 0, UV level is going to be low, and pollution is going to be low as well. Sunset 16:55 and sunrise for tomorrow morning 07:35 hours. Now for tomorrow, that's Saturday, if you have any events, tomorrow morning it will be dry with plenty sunshine around. In the afternoon, clouds will build in from the west, but it will remain largely dry, strong winds expected as well. And come Sunday will have a dull and cloudy start with a few spells of rain, turning drier and brighter into the afternoon. But there may be a few lingering blustery showers there as well. But averagely, the temperatures will be ranging between 11 and 4 degrees. Okay, so that brings us to the end of the weather forecast for you today and over the weekend. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. We're going to be going on the travels, but let's take this quick commercial break and then we go on the travel. Stay tuned, don't you go away.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Check it out. This is Starr Radio UK.
Well, so keep your eyes on the roads, I'll keep you navigated. I promise I'll born the Starr Radio UK travel app that I come to every weekday from 10:40. It's now 10:45. What is your travels like this morning? You want to share with us? Feel free to do so. Well, on the Central Line or the Underground this morning here in London, on the Central Line we've got severe delays due to an earlier fire alert. Tickets are being accepted on London buses, Chiltern Railways, Great Western Railway, Greater Anglia, London Overground, and TfL Rail. And when it comes to the Northern Line, we still know until mid-May, there are closures there as well. So check the brass route at 733. I think so. That is flying that route before you travel. Now, DLR still have got a reduced service operating between Bank Tower, Gateway, and Canning Town due to power supply problems. So check before you travel or you plan to travel that way. The other side, London Overground, good service, TfL Rail, good service, London Tramlink, good service, all the other underground lines, good service there as well. But keep your eyes on the roads, I'll keep you navigated. I promise I'll born the Starr Radio travel update that comes to where every weekday from 10:40. Now, on the riverbank this morning, yes, apart from the Woolwich ferry that's suspended, all the others, good service. Now, moving on to the National Rail, we have a few incidents here and there. Now, cross country, First Trans-Pennine Express, Great Western Railway, London North Eastern Railway, and Northern Rail have all got special service. Also, ScotRail, South Western Railway, Southern Transport for Wales have also got special service. So check before you leave. But moving on to the final segment of the travel update for you today. That's the major roads in London. Yes, few incidents here and there. Lend me your ears. Now, A10 has got closures, A316 closures, A4 closures, A40 closures, A41 closures, Central London Red Roads closures, non-circular A406 closures there as well, A2 serious delays, A20 serious delays, and South Circular A205 serious delays. And let me say it once again. Well. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth. Enjoy your commute for today. But you know what? Continue to keep those eyes on the roads.
Welcome to Gabby Dave Global. We are a UK-based online e-commerce store, the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabby Dave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabby Dave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center, the Support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far. Here are some of the benefits of using Gabby Dave Global. User-friendly platform, track your shipment, online support, transparent process, multiple SKUs, multiple products, a platform that encourages manufacturers as well as traders. Our marketing and PR interventions amplifies yours. Organized products and categories for easy access and navigation. Access to global community, especially within UK and Europe.
That is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy. Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to exactly 9 minutes to the top of the hour. And it is the Friday edition of the morning show. I am here, I'm not going away. Some people think I wasn't there. Yes, I'm still here. Well, yes, let's go global trotting, and then we will be having Mr. Olayomi Koiki exactly at 11 o'clock when he brings us updates from Nigeria. But wherever you are, share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages as well. Thank you very much. Global trotting. All right then. Now, in the UK, many tourists loyal, but Prime Minister must ship up or ship out. MPs say. Now, Boris Johnson is told he must rebuild public trust after 4 senior aides quit Downing Street. But we'll see the impact of this resignation during our discussions later on the program. And life won't get easier until 2023. One bank boss, the households will see the biggest fall in their living standard for 30 years, the Bank of England says. And Tories retain seat in by-election after MP's death. The election in South End West was prompted by the fatal stabbing of MP Sir David Ames. This is what coming your way from Starr Radio UK. Huge oil and gas leaks mapped from space plunging methane leaks from oil and gas fields could be an easy win in curbing climate change. Well, climate change once again. Yes. Do you think that has impacted the energy crisis? The price hikes? Okay, we'll talk about that during the course of the program, so don't you go away. Now, US accuses Russia of plotting fake invasion pretexts. Now, officials say Russia could try to justify invading Ukraine with a fake attack video. Well, what do you think? It's all propaganda war now. Okay, let's see what happens from there. And a boy stuck in Wales sparked huge rescue effort. The 5-year-old boy fell into a water well while playing in the northern town of Tamroot. Where is Tamroot? I'll be telling you more about that in a moment. South Africa makes its own version of Moderna jab. Scientists there say it could help increase very low vaccination rates across Africa. Now, patency. We were talking about this, that they need to help African, countries, some of them who have got good pharmaceutical companies to produce this. So, well, South Africa has gotten it. Will Ghana be the next? Or which other country on the African continent can get that as well? Or are the South Africans going to now be the ones manufacturing and just selling it to the whole of Africa? And then what? Okay, well, it is all Starr Radio UK. Canada won't call in troops against track. Prime Minister says organizers say they plan to stay in Ottawa until COVID-19 health mandates are lifted nationwide. All right then. Now, I felt anxious going back to university. Some female Afghan students returned for the first time since the Taliban takeover. How did they feel? Well, so why are they going to that university? Is it in their country? Wouldn't they come and arrest them? Okay. Closely planned U.S. raid kills Islamic State leader Abu Ibrahim al-Qurayshi blew up himself and his family during a U.S. operation that took months to plan. Okay, so any U.S. leader comes, they have to make sure that they kill any somebody who is anti-U.S. or anything of the sort. Okay, yes. Okay, let me. Obama did it. Trump did it. Now Biden has also done it. Is it something that they do to say that, well, we're sure that we got the power. We got the power to unleash on any enemies of the state. Or maybe when they see that maybe their fame is plummeting, then they use that as a propaganda to push them up or prop them up. What do you think about all that? We'll be looking into those stories in a moment. Well, but they said that it was something that was planned for a long time. It's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. 4 minutes to the top of the hour, 4 minutes to 11, where we'll be having Ms. Olayomi joining in. Now, Putin's Olympic trip signals warmer China ties. Now, Russia's president heads to the Chinese capital, Beijing, in his first visit since the COVID pandemic. Well, most of the Western countries' leaders are not going there, so well, he said, you are my buddy, so I'm going to be there, and he's there for him. Well, interestingly, some information that came through was that the Chinese leader also told Putin to hold his horses until after the Olympics. So I was asking myself, so what? After that, is he going to tell him, come on, unleash your venom on them, or what? Well, we'll be following it very, very closely. This is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. And then moving on to the African, to Africa. Now, South Africa chocolate bars that may contain glass have been recalled. Nestle says it found glass particles in some of its Kit Kat bars during safety checks. Oh my goodness. Well, if some people have eaten a body, they might have already eaten it. So are they going to trace anyone who is eating it and then maybe take them for x-rays or anything of the sort? Wow. And the South African scientists make COVID vaccine using Moderna data, as I've said. Now, Egypt beat Cameroon on penalties. It's one of the stories there. ECOWAS troops to go to Guinea-Bissau after coup bid. The West African bloc says the force will help prevent any attempted takeover. But the situation or the question is, how many of the leaders in that sub-region are sitting up to say that these are the push factors that make people think that, well, there should be a takeover, because if we don't, like the lepers theory, if we stay here, we're going to die. So, but if we go there and somehow we're able to wrestle power from them, and then we might survive. Because with the deplorable state when it comes to security, you talk about Nigeria, you talk about the economy, where in Ghana they are pushing government. I mean, when people are saying, look, we are having it too much today, it's going to be the transport first, the drivers, private drivers union, the GPRTU, and all those communities there have decided to say that, well, they come to an agreement that the transport increment is going to go up by what? 30%. And in Ghana, you know what? If transport price goes up, boom, everything across the board is affected. But well, the government is going on further to say, I'm going to charge you 1.75. They said now, okay, we say we're going to give you 1.5, but on the e-levy. What do you think is happening there? These are things that are holding people, pushing people, making people angry, making people think that, well, our lives are at risk. And these are what pushes people to lead their country into uprising or a coup d'etat. Now, if they say that, well, there shouldn't be any coup d'etats and they're not sending troops to Guinea, have they seen to address those issues? As I said earlier on, from the updates from Nigeria, 400 ethnic groups are telling the federal government, we are tired of what is happening. What do you think? A lot more going to be coming your way. In Ghana, Sekendi Takoradi MCE arrested for dangerous driving, assaulting police officer. Well, may he face the full rigors of the law. And ECOWAS demands release of Burkina Faso President Christian Kabore. Well, would they listen to you? They can tell you to, okay, e-levy won't be cowed by your court actions, minority to government. A lot more going to be coming your way. Enjoy the music whilst we wait for Mr. Olayomi to join in, and I bring you updates from Nigeria. Stay tuned. Starr Radio UK.
You, Lord, oh, your mercy never fails me. All my days I've been held in your hand.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Until I lay my
In your car,
At work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
of the goodness of God. 'Cause all my life you have been faithful, and all my life you have been so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. I love your voice. You have led
in your car,
At work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
darkest nights. You are close like no other. I've known you as a father. I've known you as a friend. I have lived in the goodness of God. Say, all my life you have been faithful. Oh,
Dave Global. We are a UK-based online e-commerce store, the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabby Dave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabby Dave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business
Okay, welcome back to the program Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time now to 7 minutes past the top of the hour. And let me say good morning to Olayomi Tosino. Yes. Tosino, how are you doing? Nice to see you once again. I hope Russia is good. That is our own in Moscow. Yes. Tosino, is Russia going to invade Ukraine? Tosino will be the one who can tell us exactly, because he knows exactly what is going on there. But it is already UK. Tosino, we hope you are doing very, very well. I mean, it's just a joke with that. But I trust that you are doing very, very well. But at this juncture, we've got Mr. Olayomi who's going to bring us updates from Nigeria. So let's cross over to him in South London as well. Yomi, good morning.
Well, it is a very good morning to you, Mr. Archie. Good morning to all our listeners and viewers from around the globe. Good morning, Frank. Good morning, Mr. Tanda, Mr. Kojo, and everyone that is getting ready for the Friday section. Like you said, thank God it's Friday, and I'd like to welcome each and every one of us into the morning broadcast as we're going to be taking you through, the news coming out of Nigeria, this morning.
Yes. How are you doing, sir?
Well, slightly a little bit tired, and I'm going to be telling you why. Yesterday, I decided to do what we called a late night broadcast to Central London. So I literally got back home at about 2 a.m. this morning. And the more reason for that is, as Nigerians are going to be preparing for election, we thought maybe it would be nice for them to see what life looks like for an average individual here in UK. Whether you're going out with your friends after work, or you are having a holiday coming to UK. For 62 years coming this year, more Nigerians have suffered quite a lot of different things, whether it is the insecurity that we discuss here on the studio, or the lack of welfare for average Nigerians. And I was able to engage with a young British girl or woman, I would say, that I've just completed a medicine course, and she's decided to take a gap year. She was able to tell us what freedom means, and also that we must not be able to stress too much, especially with the kind of life that we are living now, whether pressure from work, because you are the one that is needed, not the other way around. So it was a very beautiful, almost 4 hours broadcast, moving from Piccadilly Circus to Leicester Square to almost I went also as far as in front of the St. Thomas Hospital. Millions of Nigerians and also Africans are suffering from a lot of healthcare reasons as well. So I was in front of the St. Thomas Hospital for a very long time, got a bus from there back again to Oxford Circus. So it was a mixed bag of different areas being shown, and the whole idea is we must start asking the politicians back home why there's not been development in Nigeria and most African countries. That is what happened yesterday. By the time I got back home, I know I've done a lot, because the body was telling me it's been a long time you've done such activities.
Well, listeners, that is what we do. We tell you that because of the love we have for you, we want to go all out to make sure that you have all the information that you need to get. Let me acknowledge Pastor Emmanuel Chidi and to Amaya, long time no here. I hope you're doing very, very well. Good morning to you as well. Now let's go to the updates. Now, interestingly, 400 ethnic groups went to the federal government, or have spoken to the federal government to say that, look, we are tired of the insecurity that is going on in our communities. And that is quite a lot of people, ethnic group telling the government that, look, virtually you have failed when it comes to security. What is all that about?
Well, you're quite right. Let us quite always remember that Nigeria was merged together in 1914 by Great Britain during the colonial era. That is almost 107 years ago. That has expired in 2014, and that is part of the reason why a lot of Nigerians are asking, whether this union have literally worked for 100 years. The whole purpose of that amalgamation was because of economic reason, for the British government back in those days and in those era, which some things have changed. We've seen that there's still good relationship between the British government and the Nigerian government, but does that have impact on an average Nigerian is the question. Let us first ask, where Nigeria stand when we talk about, the insecurity today. Nigeria remain number 3 according to the Global Terrorism Index. Just on top of it is Syria, and number 1 is Afghanistan. So yes, we do have quite a lot of different ethnic groups in Nigeria, but the headline says over about 400 ethnic nationalities in Nigeria yesterday have now called on the federal government of President Muhammadu Buhari and the Vice President Yemi Osinbajo to be more proactive in dealing with the growing spat of insecurity in the country. Likewise, according to them, Nigeria youth cannot continue to witness such mindless killings of Nigerians in their numbers on a daily basis. And I'm going to be telling you, in the last 72 hours or 24 hours or 48 hours ago, some of those incidents that must have occurred in Nigeria when you talk about the insecurity that has occurred in Nigeria. So a lot of Nigerians are becoming more worried. This week alone, like I did talked about it yesterday, £15,000 equivalent was paid by a family to get back their loved ones, an husband and wife, and an orderly, which is like a police officer that guided while they were making their way to the farm. So an average Nigerian that doesn't have that sort of money will end up being killed, or probably something else will happen. Yes, the security agency are working as well. According to the joint team of security operatives comprising the MNJTF and the Nigerian Air Force, successfully neutralized several ISWAP terrorists after destroying ISWAP camp in Abaganara, Buka, Mairan, which is very close to Chad. So there's a lot of Nigerians, that are continuing to be more concerned because so many of these terrorists, ISWAP, Boko Haram, are now working in Nigeria. And I do know that yesterday there was a kind of a breaking news where one of the Islamic leader, Abdul Ibrahim Al-Hashim Al-Qusru, was killed in Syria by the U.S. overnight raid. So I'm going to come back again to you in the studio, but for now, it is still about the insecurity that is ravaging across Nigeria today.
Listeners, updates from Nigeria with Mr. Olayomi Koiki.
If you just take me off the screen just for about 2 seconds so I can get my glasses on.
Okay. Just bear with us. Interestingly, you talked about the insecurity issue that is going on at the moment in Nigeria. And the question is, what is going to be the reaction of the federal government? Are they going to say, oh, come on, shush, or whatever reaction that somebody like Lai Mohammed will want to put across? Or do you think this time round, some way, somehow, they're going to hack into it? Because, like I said, what caused the coup d'etat in Burkina Faso? The citizens were saying they've had enough of insurgents. They've had enough of their properties being destroyed. They've had enough of their lives being, short, cut. And decided that, no, we've had enough. And therefore, there was that coup d'etat. What is going to be the reaction from the federal government? But we've got Yomi back, so let's go to Yomi once again. Yomi, has the federal government reacted to that statement that request by these 400 ethnic groups?
That I must have seen online in terms of something different, because when it comes to insecurity, even the president, I think last week, was in Sokoto, but couldn't travel down to Zamfara, where it was expected. A lot of Nigerians say there was a bad weather. They would have traveled on the helicopter, but because of the bad weather. But a lot of Nigerians were saying, how come the president couldn't travel by road? A lot of Nigerians travel by road, so they will have expected the president, to do the same thing as well. But I believe, one response that I picked up, from the presidency, which is Femi Adesina, Let's see if we can get that. Additional says, I pray Nigerians will elect a leader like Buhari in 2015. In 2023, rather.
Yeah, I saw that statement and I laughed. Now, you see somebody who is not helping you, whatever is done for the past have been disastrous for you, is costing you your lives. Now, why do you want to elect somebody like him? But well, let's leave that for another time. But let's go to some other stories. Courtroom overcrowded as Ogoni teenage killers arraigned and remanded. I remember during the course of the week, early part of the week, you did touch on that story as well. So what has happened? I know they killed a girl for, was it the one they killed a girl for a ritual purpose or something of the sort?
Yeah.
Now what has happened to them, and how has the family that has seen this, this pain or experiencing this pain, have they been dealt with as well? If you have any information pertaining to that.
Well, a lot of people, and this is part of what I was doing yesterday, to tell an average Nigerian that you don't literally need to take somebody's head and put it in a pot and decide to cook it and do whatever you want to do before you become a wealthy person. If you have a stable electricity, if you have the enabling environment, if we have the industries, people are literally making money from different sources. Whether you're a waiter, whether you're a cleaner. I saw different bags of different people yesterday, and these people would not have to kill somebody before they have money in their pocket, because the society and the development of the area is available for them. Imagine somebody that works in the hospital makes a lot of money. Why do they want to kill somebody? But in the reverse way in Nigeria is at the Abeokuta Magistrate Court sitting in Isabo in Ogun State in southwest Nigeria yesterday, the 4 teenagers who allegedly murdered a 20-year-old girl, Sophia Kende, be remanded in prison for 2 months. Some of their age is Balogun Mustakim, which is 20 years old. Majekodumi Solodome is 18 years old. Lukman is 19. Waris is 18. You can see that these are youth, that should be in the university if the society was working in the first place. I mean, an average citizen here in UK, as at that age, will be trying to either be in the university or going into apprenticeship or doing a kind of a part-time job or even a voluntary work. But rather the other way around in Nigeria is there's a kind of a system now that everybody wants to drive a BMW and flash that on the social media. The boys were arrested last week Saturday for allegedly severing the head of Kende, one of the girlfriend to one of them, which they burnt in a pot for ritual.
Wow. One of them's girlfriend. Wow.
Yeah, and the girl was slept with before they even killed her.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's a very sad situation, a very, very sad story, coming out of the southwest of Nigeria, over the weekend. And a lot has happened again just after that. It's never an ending case when it comes to the ritual killing. It's entirely, there's a particular case that is going on as well, where an MBA student slept in an hotel and eventually it disappeared. And after a lot of inquiries, because the hotel probably didn't realize that he made a contact back to his wife in Abuja. And these are well-to-known society, in a socialite, as you might want to call them, in Nigeria. And as I speak to you right now, it doesn't seem that case is going anywhere, because influencer of people from the top hierarchy are now involved in that case. And the way things are now, a lot of Nigerians believe that case will probably be thrown away as well. One of the hotel owner is also owns a couple of university, I believe in Ghana, and also one in Nigeria called Oduduwa University. He's also a very linked to the current Ooni of Ife in Osun State, one of our Royal Majesty. Though they've removed the what we called a kind of title that was given to this particular man because of the this particular case. So this case has been going on for over a month now. But in the last couple of days that they've started going to court, he has been threatening the family members of the other person that was killed in his hotel.
Well, listeners, updates from Nigeria with Mr. Olayomi Koiki. I'm asking the question here: is it failure of leadership or is it greed? What is causing people to behave this way? Now you have your take.
On Ibukun on YouTube, I've just told us Ibukun Ogunfayinti says some youth resorted to despicable act due to lack of opportunities and economic condition. That is coming from the the transmission coming on the other side of the our YouTube here. And like I say, continue to support and make sure you subscribe to Starr Radio UK. Somebody's watching us. Kelechi Amadise is a useless country called Nigeria is at the end. Wow. He's also doing wow. Kelechi is also, we catch you, very sorry for you in Biafra land. We're not interested showing terrorists in the media. So that is coming from Kelechi there. So quite a lot of people are following the broadcast. But like I said, continue to stay tuned. There's still more to come before the end of the day.
Yes, listeners. Let me say good morning to Anthony Adedeji. Anthony, long time. Hope you are doing good. Mayo says that thanks Koiki Media for bringing Timothy's case to international media. Okay, well, let's go to Yomi for some more of the stories making the rounds in Nigeria. Over to you, Yomi.
Yes, it seems again ASU is not going to be happy. Remember, I believe it was the 2020, almost a year. Most of the students were literally sitting down at home because of the indefinite strike. It seems that might be coming up again. ASU lambast Buhari regime as serial promise breaker, adulterous spouse threatens indefinite strike. We are determined to end the dubious pronouncement by the government claiming commitment to sound university education. The Academic Staff Union of Universities says it will soon embark on an indefinite strike to press home its demands 1 month after it suspended a 9-month-old strike. Imagine a university student that is meant to graduate. We have to wait till another year. So that is why when Nigerians say we're going to university on a 3-year course, they end up spending almost another extra 2 years when a 9-month strike and so many 9-month strike, and thus is the reason why. But again, this is not because their wish. According to Lazarus Maigoro, the chairman of the University of Jos ASU chapter, disclosed this in a statement yesterday. The government pattern of response to issues is that of a serial promise breaker, like an unfaithful spouse. They are unable to match their words with action, which is affecting the education sector. Again, education is very, very key in any part of the globe. And if you want to develop your system and your country, you must be able to provide those education for your student or your own citizen as well. So I'm going to touch on the other headlines, then we'll come back again to you in the studio. Sweden opens a consulate in Lagos. That is coming from the headline. Buhari regime illegally executed IPOB members with Uzodima's help, according to Okorocha. This is quite interesting. Let me give us again background to Okorocha. Remember, we used to talk about him before. He's now a senator. He was the one that brought in the commissioner for happiness during his tenure as the governor of Imo State. But at the moment, I was listening to him literally yesterday. He has paid a visit to Buhari to tell him he's interested to become the president. But he's also complaining to Buhari that the EFCC is after him for a 2.9 billion allegation fraud. And when he was asked, does the president have to intervene in a court case? He said, well, that's a different thing entirely, because there's a kind of a judgment. When these, individuals are in power, they do the same thing, but the power has changed over, is now calling everything a witch hunt. And it's quite good, because I can see that the Biafrans will be looking into this particular conversation from Okorocha that has wanted to be a president. Maybe he's looking for the favor from the southeast or the Biafrans, but he's now putting a kind of a pinpoint to the next governor, the current governor, that says former governor Okorocha of Imo State has berated President Muhammadu Buhari for illegally executing the indigenous people of Biafra. I'm sure the Biafrans and their legal team will be looking at this, because we have been talking about that. I believe I spoke about this yesterday. There are more people. When we talked about the court case of these 4 individuals from the Biafra that have been, told to pay, the AGF must pay them 200,000 naira. This is part of the, a lot of allegations. An average person has become an IPOB member, and the government picks them up, and then all of a sudden they are nowhere to be found. Though belonging to the same ruling party, All Progressive Congress, faction might divide, as I told you at the beginning of this week. Mr. Okorocha did not hesitate to describe the president's action as wrong. It seems now the split on the fire is coming out. And we might be able to see more of this, because it's about the election processing, the restructuring, the self-determination. It's a mixed bag of different things that are going to be happening in Nigeria this year. And I'm going to be giving us the time clock on Star Radio UK. He also said his successor, Governor Hope Uzodinma, for failing to handle the IPOB crisis very well. Remember, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped, rendition back to Nigeria, And I was reading from his legal team yesterday, they will be hiring another extra senior advocate of Nigeria because a visit was paid to him in the prison by one of them yesterday. So we're going to be getting more of that. Some of the other headlines. Afe Babalola warns Nigerians against Osibajo, Tinubu, Atiku, presidential ambition. Who is Afe Babalola? Is a very senior advocate of Nigeria, a very well popular, elder statesman. Also owns the university as well. Afe Babalola is senior advocate of Nigeria, known as SAN, has warned Nigerians against considering APC national leader, the vice president Yemi Osibajo, and the ex-vice president Atiku Abubakar for 2023 presidential election because of their age. He asserted that a presidential candidate should not be older than 60 years old. About 2 weeks ago, Tinubu, 69 years old, his age is not yet accurate because a lot of Nigerians say on the Wikipedia, that seems to have been distorted. When one of his campaign manager was asked this question during an interview, which I might prepare that interview maybe next week, he almost get angry that we should not be talking about the age of Tinubu, neither should we be asking where his money was, and how he made his money. Remember, during the last election, 2 bullion van was kept driven into his compound, and I'm sure we all know what is inside a bullion van. Although Abubakar is 75 years old, Osibajo is 64, have not made a public declaration. They are interested in succeeding President Muhammadu Buhari. So the headline again says, Nigerians do not consider any of these 3 individuals due to their age. I'm going to touch on a couple of more, then come back again. It's coming up to 11:28 a.m. in UK, where we are literally bringing this broadcast from. Remember, you can also send money to your loved ones in Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya by using SendWaves, and that also can give you the first code if you're using it for the very first time. Remember to use S for Star, T for Tango, A for R, Alpha, R for Romeo. Star will give you that first code. According to the Star Radio time clock, 371 days today, 12 hours, 31 minutes, and the seconds keeps going down for the Nigeria 2023 general election. Also today, the Ilana UK worldwide leader, Professor Banji Akintoye, will be addressing, a town hall conference here in UK at about 6 p.m. Local time in London, 7 p.m. local time back in Nigeria, where they'll be giving, their plans to stop the first governorship election that is taking place this year in Ekiti and Osun State through the legal means. Remember, a lot of Nigerians have talked about the military decree of the 1999 Constitution, and also more reason why a governorship election must not hold in Yoruba land this year. Mr. Archie is a very busy year, but Star Radio UK will be bringing all the details as it goes. But let me come back now again to you in the studio.
Yes, listeners, it's quite an interesting. That's how I've interrupted Mr. Olayomi. Now let's talk about the elections. You're talking about 375 days more for the elections, okay? But are Nigerians ready to go for elections as a whole? First, that's the question I want to find out.
Well, I've been looking and following, the trend, and you can only pick up those kind of trend, on the social media, especially now the government has allowed Twitter, to come back, to air. So, in the last 72 hours, we've seen Peter Obi trending, and the reason for that is more Nigerians believe that, they might be able to support Peter Obi by putting money together and allow him, to be the next president. Of whether PDP will zone, that to Southeast is a different thing entirely. More Nigerians are also, asking people to pick up their PVC, so that they will be able to chase, some of these that the former president Olusegun Obasanjo that we played says you got to slug it out, not violent, but if you don't push this, individuals of current, politicians, they're not going anywhere. And that video has been trending, but whether PVC will solve the problem in Nigeria is something that a lot of Nigerians will have to review. And again, more Nigerians are discussing the 2023 election, while more Nigerians are saying enough is enough. It is time to put a full stop to Nigeria, and let's come and round table, decide our fate, just like the British decided whether they still want to be traveling to European country without any kind of injury. But if you're traveling to Spain this morning, you better check on the foreign ministry website so that you don't end up getting stuck there because you're no longer part of the European Union.
Yeah, that's true there. But my question is, now we have the Ilano UK leader, the leader come to give a press conference where you are saying that they are going to stop some state elections from being held, governorship election from being held in Ekiti and others. Now, what measures? Because I'm looking at it that, as the former president said, Obasanjo said, he said that, well, you have to slug it out. So virtually saying that, look, get your ID cards, go and vote, make sure that you vote those that you don't want out. But this is a case where we see people who might genuinely be the ones that we want. However, people use all sort of things to push them away. Now, should it happen that somebody from Ododuwa decide to stand as president, do you think that will resolve the secession issue that is going on, because people will be appeased with it?
Well, that is a good question. Before I answer that, I can see that there's an image just coming out that the vice president has arrived in Lagos for the burial service of the late former interim president Chief Ernest Shonekon that died, that we discussed yesterday. That image is just coming out right now. They've arrived in Cathedral Church in Lagos. So coming back to the question, this was put to Professor Banji Akintoye, the leader of Ilano Movement for Self-Determination, during their U.S. town hall meeting. There was another town hall meeting that took place where questions were put out to determine what are the options. It's all about the options. I mean, if we say we don't want election in Nigeria, what options do we have to stop this kind of election from taking place? That is the first thing that a lot of people wants to know. And you did ask, should we have a Yoruba person coming out to become the president? Would that option be given to them, so that people that are campaigning for self-determination? That has been ruled out as well, because the reason why that has ruled out is because of the situation where the 1999 Constitution, which is a military decree 24, was put on many Nigerians. So if anybody is going to become the the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the question is, on what constitution would that be happening? That is the the question that a lot of people are asking. So that has been literally ruled out from that as well. Let me give you the background of some of the questions that was put to these town hall meeting that have called, like I said a couple of days ago. And yes, I've got it in front of me. It was a brainstorming Yoruba exit option out of Nigeria, and those options that was completely ruled out. I've got here discussing options and clarifying the available exit route for the Yoruba. Number one, actualizing no Nigerian elections ever again in Yoruba land using the youth. Number two, referendum through NINAS. At the moment, the Ilano has exit out of NINAS because, from what they are saying, that as much as NINAS has a plan with the 1999 Constitution, but it doesn't seem to have, the other ethnic groups as the Yoruba were working in NINAS. So the Ilano has pulled out of NINAS as I speak to you right now. Some Yorubas are still working with them. So that was ruled out as well. Referendum through Yoruba negotiation with the federal government. The federal government is not going to negotiate with anybody, neither will they negotiate with the Biafra as well. So that as well has been ruled out. The next one is a civil unrest followed by declaration. That option is not something that the professor wants in the terms of civil disobedience and then civil unrest, and that will lead to a declaration. A legal court judgment. Yes, a legal court judgment which has already started. Remember, the Yorubas and also the Biafrans have taken the Nigerian government to the International Criminal Court. But that is a process. It's a process where they have to come down to investigate some of these issues before they would then be able to send what we call a statement back to the Nigerian government to bring them to the court. So another one that was put is put people into a political party to become governors and later unite to drop Nigeria. That was also ruled out. So negotiate with somebody like Bola Tinubu, that is contesting, is a Yoruba person, and then again that was ruled out. So you can see that the option that is on the table right now is to continue that awareness and then force through the legal means to bring down that the constitution that has failed in terms of the first two elections that will be held. So more details of that will be happening again this evening when he will be speaking to more people from different parts of the globe at exactly 6 p.m. local time.
Okay, make a date on that as well to help you, to inform you. But let me acknowledge a couple of people and some comments that have come through. Tosino says Nigeria is a destiny killer. Now it says Nigerians living in Nigeria are all prisoners, and it goes on further to say in the quest as to whether Nigerians should go for elections, it says that no, election is not the way, but a referendum should be it, so that the people agree or disagree whether to stay together or to split. And then Amayo says Yoruba Nation now, Prince, okay, Amayo says revolution now, referendum now, freedom now, okay, and Yoruba Nation now. Now Prince Adebanjo Israel Bemi says good afternoon Star Radio UK, and Prince, good afternoon to you. Hope you are doing very well and enjoying the broadcast as well. Listeners to Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Updates from Nigeria with Miss Olayomi Koiki. Let's go to Yomi for the rest of the stories making the rounds. Over to you, Yomi.
So I still want to go back to what the senior advocate of Nigeria, Afeba Balola, says in terms of Nigeria next president should be below 60 years, and some of the reason is given is a next president we should be able to work for 14 hours daily. So I'm not sure whether Buhari is working 14 hours because of his age, and we've seen that his health has not really been very good. He has been traveling more as well. The notable legal practitioner said the presidential candidate should be fluent in spoken English such that he will possess the ability to write a speech all by himself. I'm not sure any president around the world does that, but that is part of the option there. According to him, in addition, he must possess the ability to speak off the cuff. Babalola said the candidate must produce evidence that he possesses unquestionable means of livelihood. I'm sure this will be touching to Tinubu, because Tinubu is not been able to give us accurate details of where his money is made, even though those campaigning around him are saying that is not necessary. But a lot of Nigerians would like to know, where he's been able to, remember one of his, accounting office is the one, also auditing and, the Alpha Beta that is well known as one of the, the accounting firm rather that has been managing the Lagos State, accounting. So imagine, the former Lagos State governor owns the same accounting firm that managed the Lagos State, accounting. It's just a total mess. Imagine, let's look at the mayor, Sadiq Khan, having an accounting firm to manage the same accounting department on his behalf as the mayor of London.
Conflict of
interest. You probably have been chucked out long time ago.
Long time.
But this happened in African country, and so again, whoever has to be of this, he should not be seeking election as a means of securing employment or offsetting outstanding indebtedness or use his position as the president to divert government funds. Again, Tinubu went to Osun State some couple of years ago, right in front of the some of the first class Oba says the king doesn't have his money, and it's not because he wants us to say that it's just a question of fact. But a lot of people are asking, where has he made the money from? And we hope this question will be answered by him when the time comes for question and answer. And we'd love to have him come and speak to us so that we can ask him all these questions about his age. Remember Buhari, we couldn't find a certificate. They were looking all over the certificate. It looks like some people were hiding it. So these are part of more reason why, Afeba Balola is saying. Others also, according to him, this is a very key point now. Others believe in the need for a new constitution. Orator, power, kindness, friendliness, firmness, previous contributions to development. Development is very, very key. Economic standing, readiness to serve, as well as proven ability to solve problems, Babalola said. On age, he explained that any candidate for the post of Nigerian president should not be more than 60 years. But more Nigerians are saying enough is enough. It's not even worth to be part of that system anymore. So I'm going to touch on the business aspect because time is well spent already, 11:40, and I'm going to come back. Corruption. Nigeria now depends on IMF, World Bank loans to pay workers, according to Tomori. Imagine that we have to now wait on the loan from IMF and the World Bank so that we can pay workers' salary. That is the way we are right now, according to this professor of virologic and member of the World Health Organization Technical Advisory Group on COVID-19 vaccine composition. Oyewale Tomori has lamented the refusal of the successful administrations in Nigeria again to invest in science and technology. Tomori said rather than investing in what will bring positive returns on Nigeria consistently, invested in corruption, immorality, stressing that the returns of these were numerous problems facing the country. He was speaking at the 79th Interdisciplinary Research Discourse of the Postgraduate College, University of Ibadan, put together by the Provost, Professor Jonathan Babalola, on Thursday. Tomori said for Nigeria to get out of its woes, it needed to start a massive investment in education, science, and technology. He said, while other countries are getting spontaneous results on their investment, we are wallowing in our own return on inequality, return to immorality. That is why we have about 10.5 million of our children out of school, 4.5 million under-vaccinated. We become the poverty capital of the world because we are investing, hugely in corruption, disband for science and technology. We now depend on the IMF loans and World Bank to pay workers' salary, to import food. Imagine Nigerians to import everything that we eat when we have vast amount of land, because you can't make use of that land anymore because of the amount of atrocity. I'm going to go straight to the Twitter this morning, some of what is coming out on Twitter, and then come back again to you in the studio. Like I said, today at about 6 p.m., Ilana UK town hall meeting will be held, and the whole conversation is the 2022 Ekiti and Osun gubernatorial election that is coming up. Also, according to them, there are many benefits to enjoy in our independent and self-sustaining hashtag Yoruba Nation. Like I did talk about it as well, Nnamdi Kanu case will be coming up anytime soon. But yesterday, according to Biafra Youth at Biafran Youth, liberate and free the minds of over 70 million Biafra. Hashtag Nnamdi Kanu, hashtag Black History Month, hashtag Biafran Youth. That is coming up from there. Also, the U.S. constitutional lawyer Bruce Fehm slams Nigerian President Buhari over mistreatment of the Biafran leader. Your lawless, malevolent mistreatment of hashtag Nnamdi Kanu is far worse than the degradation hashtag Nelson Mandela experienced under South Africa apartheid regime. That is coming from one of the the legal representative of Nnamdi Kanu, known as Bruce Fehm, that travels all the way from US each time as well. On the trending this morning, as you can tell, ASU has literally, before we come, I was looking at it at number 2, it has now jumped to number 1, and that is because more Nigerians will be concerned that there might be an indefinite strike. So this one says, according to Charles Hugo, this one, ASU, they go on strike, not to use my house rent, pay too odd. If to cut, not to use my school fees, play another one. If it's still cut, acceptance fee go follow. So what he's trying to say there is if ASU is going to be going on strike, then his house rent will probably not need to be paid anymore because it's going to go for a long time. According to more tweet that is coming as well, then give you admission, welcome you with strike. What ASU cannot do doesn't exist. So what this one is saying is, you get an admission, then you are being welcomed with a strike. And again, on the Twitter of at I am Sami PR, ASU commenced indefinite strike. The Academic Staff Union of University of Obafemi Awolowo University of Ilefe has commenced an indefinite action with effective from 31st of January 2022. So more Nigerians, and this is the last one, dear ASU, please, this is a 5-year course. Don't dare enter 6 years. Who did I offend? So you cannot guarantee that when you enter a university in Nigeria on a 3-year course, that will be a 3-year course, because there will definitely be a strike in between. You might end up spending another 2 years on top of that. Sometimes people get pregnant before they even come out of that university. It's a Starr Radio UK, your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. It's about 371 days before 2023, but be rest assured, we'll be giving you all the news and the headlines. And like I said, very soon, we're going to be having the key player to come and speak to us during Niger Voices. But for now, I'm going to come back again to you in the studio.
Yes, listeners, Mr. Olayomi for you. I mean, the stories are mind-blowing, as we say all the time, but keep your dial still logged on. Let me read a few of comments that have come through. Okay, Amayo says, the voice of the people is the voice of the Almighty. Now, conflict of interest, that's pertaining to an accounting firm run by somebody who has a hand in there. And let me say good morning to Mr. Nanaya Tabiri. Amayo goes on to say, he said, get up, stand up. Stand Up for Your Right and Don't Give Up the Fight, renditioning Bob Marley's song. And Ajani Ajala, good afternoon, good morning to you. We don't believe in any political parties. We are not interested in them. All we want is Yoruba Nation. Now, Amayo goes on further to say, we will not settle for anything than declaration of Yoruba Nation full of opportunities. The question is, are they going to grant a referendum, as people are calling for? Will there be a peaceful transition into separate groups? What would going to happen there? But we'll be following all those stories from Nigeria at Star Radio UK. All right then. So now let's go to Yomi for your closing remarks, and then we can bring the update to a close. Over to you, Yomi.
I'm just gonna pick two comments coming from the Facebook and the YouTube here. According to Adeboye, says, in fact, Nigeria is gone and cannot be a country again. Yoruba Nation is the solution. Also, Kelechi Amade says, Avengers is a must take place for the Biafrans genocide. So that will be from me. It's a weekend. We have everything that you need over this weekend, but the best way is to make sure you follow Star Radio UK. It is your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London, where everything you can also on www.starradiouk.com. I'll be back again Monday morning with more news of whatever happened over the weekend. But like I said, Star Radio UK has got everything that you need when you want it. This weekend, let's make it on Star Radio UK. I'll be back again Monday. Have a very good morning. Don't go anywhere yet, because Archie and Frank and all other guests will be talking to us before the end of the program at 1 p.m.
Thank you very much, Yomi. Have a wonderful day, and we'll catch up later.
Bye for now.
Bye. Well, listeners, that is updates from Nigeria. Wherever you are, don't touch your dials. We'll take a commercial break. We'll come back. I'll bring you some lovely tune, and then we'll continue with the discussions. Well, tough times here in the UK. The Prime Minister is facing another Waterloo. What do you think about all that? Amayo says, thanks for the news round. Thank you very much, Amayo, for your patronage as well. Okay, so let's take this commercial break, and once we come back, we'll continue with the show. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Gabby Dave Global. We are a UK-based online e-commerce store, the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabby Dave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabby Dave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far. Here are some of the benefits of using Gabby Dave Global. User-friendly platform, track your shipment, online support, transparent process, multiple SKUs, multiple products, a platform that encourages manufacturers as well as traders. Our marketing and PR interventions amplifies yours. Organized products and categories for easy access and navigation. Access to global community, especially within UK and Europe.
Yeah, man. I hope you compare. Listen to this radio.
This is Star Radio UK.
In your car,
At work.
at home,
On your smartphone.
In your car,
at work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK.
The people, they must suffer in a ghetto, in a city, everywhere that me go, me see them.
Are you ready to turn it up?
This is Starr Radio UK.
Everywhere that me go, under pressure we will, under pressure, everybody under pressure, black and white, under pressure, Europeans under pressure. Can't get no food if you go feel with belly. Philippi, you too, no have no mother. Philippi, you too, no have
In your car,
at work,
at home,
on your smartphone. Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
me just chatting to you. Just this I want me not go chat it all day. Under pressure we will, under pressure Europeans under pressure.
Well, it seems like everybody is under pressure. Well, in the UK front, yesterday the announcement that came through pertaining to the hikes when it comes to the energy prices is quite scary. It's quite scary. And the leaders will say, yeah, it's across the globe. It's something that is happening. But well, this afternoon exactly at 12:30, we'll be having our own man, Mr. Dante Bree, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, coming to talk to you about those reliefs that government has rolled out to help you. Says, what did the Chancellor of the Exchequer say? To take the what did they say? Okay, the stinge out of it. Yeah. Okay. So you might have the prick, but the sting of the prick is going to take it out. So you don't want to miss out on that at all. What has government said? How can whatever promises that government have help you in that front? Is all going to be exactly at 12:30 when we have our money man, Mr. Dan Tabiri. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. 6 minutes to the top of the hour at the time, the morning show, the program. I am Archie. Okay, now let's continue with the stories making the rounds. Those from here and then other parts of the world as well. But before then, I have got an announcement. A very, very, very important announcement. Come Tuesday, the next Tuesday. That what date would that be? Okay, let me make sure of that. I don't want to say something that. Okay, where is my date? Oh my God, what is next Tuesday's date? Okay, yes, I'll tell you. I know it. Okay, I'll be telling you about that. Don't you worry. Yes, next Tuesday's program on BB Means Business. Okay. Now, she will be hosting the mega talented singer and songwriter, record producer, Sam Henshaw. He's going to be special guest on the Tuesday BB Means Business show. Like an increasing number of young people, Sam is charting his own path, combining raw talent and business savvy to build wealth and become financially free to be able to make a lasting contribution to society. Now come and be inspired, and as we discuss what it means to be under 30 and overachieving. Join in. We'll be putting the link around, and please join in when we have Sam Henshaw from we'll be joining BB Clement next Tuesday. All right then. Well, I was waiting for somebody to tell me next Tuesday's date, but nobody got it. All right then. But let's move on to some of the stories making the rounds here in the UK. Unfortunately, information coming through says Boris Johnson rocked by wave of number 10 resignation. Do you think that they are pushing him? Well, he said that he's going to, reform number 10, going to make sure that he's in control of everything. So maybe these guys decided to jump before they were pushed. What about that? Well, the story is saying that Prime Minister Boris Johnson has been rocked by a string of resignation from his team of aides in Downing Street. The policy advisor Elena Narodzansky is the latest to leave her role after 4 senior staff members quit on Thursday. Mr. Johnson's policy head, Monira Meza, was the first to depart, followed by communications chief Jack Doyle. The Prime Minister is battling to save his premiership as Conservative MPs consider whether to oust him over lockdown parties in Downing Street. Now, on Friday morning, backbencher Hugh Merriman said on the program that the Prime Minister should shape up or ship out. But Energy Minister Greg Hans said the resignation came. This resignation came after Mr. Johnson made it clear there would be a shake-up of the Downing Street operation, following criticism from senior civil servant Sue Gray in her report on rule-breaking parties. Now, when asked about Ms. Gray's findings, Health Secretary Sajid Javid said the Prime Minister has started making changes and supported his leadership. 3 of the departed aides were caught up in the lockdown party's row, including senior civil servant Martin Reynolds, who sent out an invitation to bring your own booze party. But Ms. Mirza quits over the Prime Minister's false claim that the Labour leader, Sir Keir Starmer, failed to prosecute Jimmy Savile when he was Director of Public Prosecution, and his refusal to apologise. In a scathing resignation letter, Ms. Mirza, a Johnson ally of 14 years, described the Prime Minister's comment about Savile as scurrilous. Now, Chancellor Rishi Sunak publicly distanced himself from the Prime Minister's original comment, saying, "Being honest, I wouldn't have said that." Well, has that actually drawn a nail through the coffee? Or put a nice nail in the coffee? The coffin? Do you think the Prime Minister should now decide to just back down? And because if things are falling apart, that means that the centre cannot hold. So what do you think? Well, it is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. And then, as I said, we'll be having Mr. Dantabri, who will be helping us on that front. But let me take this political story before we come to some of the issues that's going to be happening in your personal economy if you live here in the UK. Now, South and West by-election and Faith wins seat for Tories. The Conservatives have retained the seat of South and West in parliamentary by-election prompted by the fatal stabbing of MP Sir David Ames. Now, Anna Firth won the 12,792 votes in a contest that saw a low turnout of 24%. The election was not contested by Labour, the Liberal Democrats, or the Greens. Now, Jason Piley of the Psychedelic Movement came second with 512 votes. UKIP Steve Laws was third with 400 votes. There were 1,084 spoiled ballot papers, and Sir David was attacked during a constituency surgery in Leigh-on-Sea on the 15th of October 2021. Ali Habi Ali, 25, from Kentish Town in North London, denied his murder and is due to stand trial next month. But well, so the Conservatives have won another election, but somebody will say that had it happened that we had the Labour Party and the other parties throwing their caps in, then that would have, or their hats in, that would have brought a different result altogether. Maybe with what is happening with the Partygate. Now you say you don't have to say party. You say party, you might be investigated. So I'm not saying party. I'm saying the P word. Well, it's All Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. So we say congratulations to her for winning that seat. Okay, now MPs call for road tax to plug fuel duty shortfall. Are you a driver? Are you listening to me? What do you think? The UK needs to create a new motoring tax to plug the revenue gap as drivers switch to electric cars, MPs have said. The government should tax motorists based on miles traveled as they use the petrol and diesel vehicles decreases, Transport Select Committee said. If no action is taken this year, the UK faces a £35 billion black hole in its finances, they said. The Treasury said tax revenues will keep pace with changes prompted by electric vehicle take-up. Now, sales of new petrol and diesel cars and vans will be banned in the UK from 2030, and sales of electric cars are already soaring. Now, taken together, vehicle excise duty, better known as car tax, and fuel duty that motorists pay at the pump raise around 35 billion a year, but neither tax is levied on pure electric vehicles. So now if you buy electric vehicle, get ready, you're also going to pay some tax there. Interesting. Now, the committee warned there is likely to be no revenue from existing tax source by 2040. The MP said charging people based on how much they drive using technology to track cars' movements should be considered. Such a scheme could factor in the type of vehicle and congestion and support vulnerable groups such as those with mobility issues and people in remote areas, the committee said. Now, motorists should pay the same or less than they do currently, the MP said. Now, road pricing is not a new idea, but it has previously proved an unpopular one in the UK. Now, motoring group believe many drivers do not support the principle of paying more tax the more you drive. But public opinion is not the only factor. There are many outstanding questions. It goes on further to say, if road pricing didn't come in, what exact technology will be used? Who will provide it? And what reassurances could be offered over privacy, given the amount of data captured? Now, how could it work alongside the local schemes already in place, such as city congestion charge? And when will be the right time? Too early, and it might put people off buying electric cars. Now, too late and cheaper driving could lead to more congestion, and electric car drivers who we have grown used to not being taxed may not react positively to the belated introduction of a charge. So if you have bought an electric car, I tell you, there's another tax coming your way. It's heading your way. What do you think about that? It's on Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. 4 minutes past 12 the time. Let me read one other story, and then I will open the lines for you to join in the discussion. And this pertains to what we're going to be doing this afternoon when our money man comes on in the next 26 minutes. Life won't get easier until 2023, says the governor of the Bank of England. The rising cost of living and squeeze on living standards will not ease until next year, the governor of the Bank of England has said. Now, Andrew Bailey said many people in the UK face a difficult period ahead. It comes after the bank increased interest rates from 0.25% to 0.5% on Thursday and said that it expected prices to climb faster than pay. Now, millions of households are also set to pay an extra £693 a year on energy bills from April. Now, this led the government to announce measures to cut energy costs for many households by £350. Now, through a combination of rebates and council tax cuts to ease the impact of soaring bills. Now, rising gas and electricity costs are the main factors pushing up prices across the economy. However, the Resolution Foundation think tank said the government's package will not stop average incomes and living standards from falling. It said about 640,000 of the poorest households in England will not receive the council tax cut due to them living in properties not eligible for relief. Now, Mike Brewer, a chief economist at the Resolution Foundation, said the Chancellor had announced a bold plan, but by not targeting families most in the need of support and by trying to minimize the cost of support to the public purse, households will still face significant bill rises and higher bills for many years to come. The £350 energy bill rebate will soften the cost of living crunch this spring, but families across Britain are still set for recession-era levels of squeezed budgets this year, with the average family seeing their income fall by £1,000 over the course of 2022, he said. So the question is, what is the way forward? What are you going to do to sustain you during these difficult times? Don't touch the dial at all, because I tell you, we're going to be having Mr. Dan Teberi, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, our money man, joining us in the next 24 minutes, and he's going to be telling you more on how you can go through that and how you can assess that those funds that government has put across. Star Radio UK. I am Archie. Now let's move on to some other parts of the world, but let me open the lines. You want to join the conversation, call us on 0208 133 2257 or 58 0208 133 2257 or 58. Or if you happen to be in the US or Canada or in the Caribbean area, it's 001 718 303 2737 001 718 303 2737. And you can text on WhatsApp at 075 396617 for 075 396617 for our Twitter handle is Starr Radio UK, and email address is info@starradiouk.com. So get in touch. Thank you very, very much. Okay, let me touch on one other story, and then we go to Africa. Well, though other nations have boycotted the leaders of especially the Western nations have boycotted the Chinese Winter Olympic Games. However, well, the good power that is Russia is in there. Now China joins Russia in opposing NATO expansion, and because they are already in there. Now we know that the Chinese have been the supporter of Russia of late. Now China has joined Russia in opposing further NATO expansion as the two countries move closer together in the face of Western pressures. Now Moscow and Beijing issued a statement showcasing agreement on a raft of issues during a visit by Russia's Vladimir Putin for the Winter Olympics. In it, Moscow said it supported China's stance on Taiwan and opposed independence for the island. Birds of the same feathers, okay? Now it comes amid tension over Ukraine. Russia denies its planning to invade. Mr. Putin and China's Xi Jinping have been holding talks ahead of the Winter Games opening ceremony. The Kremlin has said the talks between the leaders were very warm and constructive. The two countries' lengthy joint statement accuses NATO of espousing a Cold War ideology and also say they are concerned about the AUKUS security pact between the US, UK, and Australia. Meanwhile, Russia said it supported Beijing's One China policy, which asserts that self-ruled Taiwan is a breakaway province that will eventually be part of China again. So, what does it say? Well, the breakaway Ukraine is going to be part of Russia again. Well, however, Taiwan sees itself as an independent country with its own constitution and democratically elected leaders. There are no formidable or forbidden areas of cooperation, the statement reads, according to a translation by the Kremlin. However, the Russian-Chinese statement does not refer to Ukraine, the subject of escalating tension between Russia and the West. But in inference, what do you think? Okay, it is Star Radio UK, 10 minutes past the top of the hour, the Friday edition of the morning show. I am Archie. Now, let's venture to Africa and let's look at some of the stories making the rounds there. And like I said to my Nigerian listeners, thank you for your patronage. You've done very, very well. In South Africa, a Kit Kat South Africa chocolate bars that may contain glass has been recalled. So if you have taken anything of the sort, I don't know, it depends on the batch that is alleged to have contained this broken or glass particles. I don't know how they're going to be dealing with that, but it's quite an interesting and a difficult one, and we hope that if anybody is taking that or eating that, they are given the opportunity to either be screened or x-rayed to find out if they are okay. But food manufacturer Nestle has recalled some of its Kit Kat chocolate bars in the South Africa after finding glass particles during safety checks. The company said no customer had complained, but preventative measures will be taken by recalling the affected batches. Now, customers who had purchased the listed batches have been asked to return them. The batches, if you go on BBC website or other website. You type in there that story, it will get the Nestle website to give you all those batches that you need. So if you have eaten that, or if you have got that, somebody came from South Africa, brought you one this morning, or you're about to munch on one listening to us, our South African listeners, please check the Nestle website, and it will tell you which batch it is, and then you don't touch it. Anyone who suspects that they may have consumed the affected batches has been asked to see a doctor. Nestle says it will strengthen its quality checks to ensure such incidents do not happen again. Well, it's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. Still on the African continent. Now, West African Regional Bloc ECOWAS will deploy troops to Guinea-Bissau to help stabilize the country after this week's attempted coup. The bloc made the announcement after a summit held in Accra, Ghana. The force will help prevent any attempted coup in future, the bloc said. Now, ECOWAS deployed troops to Guinea-Bissau from 2012 to 2020 after a coup. Now, President Umaru Sissoco Mbalo has said the stability had been restored in the country after the failed coup. Well, I don't want to go into the causes of the coup, who undertook the coup and all that, because we talked about it at length yesterday, where they are alluding that it's should I call them drug lords who are undertaking that operation. Others are saying that the military should go back to barracks. So what is going to happen there? Are the ECOWAS team going to be working hand in hand with the military in Guinea-Bissau? And the question I've been asking is, what are the push factors? What makes countries or citizens yearn for an uprising to take place, a coup d'etat to take place? What causes that? And has the regional bloc, the leaders of the regional bloc, actually looked into that and said, this and these and these are the things that we are doing that is causing the citizens to be angry at us and are calling for governments to be toppled? We'll be coming to that in a bit, because we're going to Ghana, where there are some of the stories that is so making me angry, and I know we'll be touching on it. But I've got Kojo here. Let me say good afternoon to you, Kojo.
Yeah, good afternoon, Archie. Yeah.
How are you?
Anyway, I'm good. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm also doing very well. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Frank is okay. He's not here at the moment, though. But let's crack on, because we know Mr. Tebre is going to come on to ease the pain that we are going through at the moment. Okay. Yes. Your take on any of the issues that we discussed, and then yeah.
I will start with Partygate.
More resignations.
I mean, I don't know how he's surviving, but I've seen so many government ministers either putting out a tweet or rising quickly to put up a defense.
Yeah.
But it's so difficult. Look, right, fine. 3 of those people who resigned, let's put it this way, they fell on their own swords.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, they were implicated in the Partygate scandal. But, of course, what triggered those 3 also to go is the resignation of the head of policy, Munira Meza. So you can understand they wanted to soften the blow. But if you have one of your closest allies who have been with you through when he was a mayor and all that, I'm thinking that you made an error of judgment and you failed to apologize for that error of judgment. You have government ministers all around the place trying to really not even do damage control,
but justify what you did.
Yeah, spin the whole thing. And you have someone who is not ready to apologize, because then it's a difficult situation if you're an advisor and you putting out your advice to the person refuses to take the advice. I mean, going forward, will that person
take your advice when you have a disagreement with the person.
No way.
Hey, that is what.
That's what pushed it. Yeah.
Because if I'm a special advisor and you made a statement, I'm a head of policy, I've been with you, I've been your closest ally, and there's something that you said and I felt it is wrong. You should go out there and put out a control message, and you still refuse to do it, then it becomes difficult to work with that person. I mean, then going forward, would they take your advice?
No,
I mean,
no, they
no.
won't.
But I mean, it is all not good for the party. I mean, although some people have it, the first person who made the exit was the one who is dripping the information across.
Dominic.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and every information is dripping across. It's not a lie. It's true.
It's true, but he was in there. He was in there. Yeah.
It's true, and he has admitted he was part of it. He didn't say he wasn't. He said he's part of it. But this is the issue. This man is not fit to continue being a PM. I mean, in his mind. So it's difficult. If you had head of communication. Or
chief of communication, chief of staff, prime minister's the one who runs the prime minister's private office, policy chief, all gone. And then that is quite.
Not just one policy chief, 2 policy chiefs have gone, and you also hear a collapse in Stormont. I mean,
Yeah.
Overnight, 7 or so. People gone. How do you put those pieces together? I mean, no matter how they try to spin it, that he promised to clean up number 10. He's part of number 10. So what is he cleaning up? Some people are. Is he being ruthless? Maybe he called them aside and said, friends, I think I need to save my political career.
Yeah.
Directly that way. He has said that in his mind. He said, what do we do going forward? Do you want to resign or something? Maybe that is how it all started. But of course, the ones he didn't expect is the ones who were not part of the party gate.
Yeah.
And they have walked out.
Yeah.
So it's so difficult. And if you have the chancellor today said he wouldn't have said that.
That means that he's also drawn his dagger.
So I think he must reflect back and eat a humble pie, as we say it. Go back and apologize for the link he was trying to make with
Jimmy Savile's case.
Keir Starmer. With Jimmy Savile sexually abusing young children on hospital beds, and he prosecuting journalists. I mean, it's just trying to throw death at somebody to destroy them.
He's desperate now. He's desperate now. So
his image has suffered, a downward trend. So it hasn't worked. It hasn't worked at all. I mean, Keir Starmer chose to ignore it.
Yeah.
And he ignoring it has rather put in too much pressure on him. Now everybody everywhere is making a comment. Why did he make this comment? What has it got to do with Partygate? What link? What correlation? It's and the children or the survivors of sexual abuse. Are now coming hard at him. They are not going for Keir Starmer. Coming hard at him.
Politicizing a case like that.
Exactly. And I don't know why. I don't know what really got into him to try to do that. But I can get a picture. He was taking a battering in the common. At PMQ. Then he tried to have a diversionary tactic, which now has backfired. Every week we hear something new. I mean, what are we going to hear next week again? I think he has the skin of a rhinoceros.
Maybe. So no matter what you throw at it, well, it's still surviving, still going on. Well, listeners, Starr Radio UK.
He's just behaving like some of the people going around making their statements are probably behaving like Mohammed.
Oh yeah. You are right. Yes, spinning everything. Well. We are in Africa. Let's go to Africa now. Now, interestingly, the story that I touched on pertaining to the ECOWAS saying that they are sending the military force to Equatorial Guinea. Guinea-Bissau, my apologies. Guinea-Bissau, listeners, Guinea-Bissau. It's not Equatorial Guinea, Guinea-Bissau. Now, my question is, now you said they are sending them there so that there will be no coup d'etats. But the issue is the push factor. What causes people to think that, look, we need freedom. We need to do something about this situation that we find ourselves in. That, like the lepers theory, if we don't do something, we're going to die. And therefore, out of desperation, and we have somebody just springing up, a couple of people springing up as military, and then they push, and then they overthrow government. Now, we know where during Nkrumah's time, where he said there were Russian soldiers or security agencies in Ghana at the time, yet there was a coup d'etat. There have been other places where they had foreign troops there who were supposed to help government out. But because whatever is going on at the time is not being seen to be addressed, now we have the military will be there, but we'll have maybe some junior ranks going up and then doing it and some people following them. So do you think it's a right move for the ECOWAS to have made?
Well, are they going to fight who be coup makers?
That's what they are saying.
They're not going to fight them. ECOWAS troops are going there as a peacekeeping mission. To stand in between will be coup makers and a government fighting back. But honestly, are they going to fight if the soldiers decide to make a coup and remove the government from the office or from the offices? Are they going to fight them? ECOWAS is not going to fight. ECOWAS is supposed to have a mandate to be a peacekeeping group. So are they going to fight? I can't get it. You can go there. Is there a military problem in Guinea-Bissau?
No, the president said it wasn't the military. He said there were some drug lords who did that. So
that's where I'm coming. If the president says it's drug dealers who are trying to remove him from office, did the president ask for reinforcement into his own country? He hasn't. He's not said any of that. He's not called for ECOWAS to come and support him. So ECOWAS deciding to make that decision. So are they going to place ECOWAS forces in each of the West African countries to stop coup d'etats happening in those West African countries? It doesn't really make sense to me. That they will hold a summit in Accra and decide that, okay, we're going to send soldiers to every country to stop coups happening. Is that what they are trying to say? So today might be Guinea-Bissau that they are probably deploying troops to. Is it going to be the next time they're going to deploy troops to Ivory Coast? And ECOWAS has a history of already deploying troops to Guinea-Bissau to stop coups. So is Guinea-Bissau a test case for the strength of ECOWAS or something? I can't get it. Really, I can't get it.
You know, my worry there is, as leaders, when they met, they should have looked at what are the push factors. What are making people clamor for coups to happen?
Exactly. They are not ready to take responsibility. I'm just being honest. The leaders are not ready to take responsibility. When you have people changing constitution to get themselves into terror, did they send soldiers to stop it?
No.
Did they send ECOWAS troops to stop it?
No.
Did they enforce that, hey, Jack, your term is over, you can't change the constitution?
To leave.
You cannot amend the constitution. Just leave and move on and let somebody else take over. So they only send troops to the smaller countries where they think they can have a control. But to the bigger countries, they are staying off. I don't get it. The president hasn't even made a request. It's become a God-sent mission for him to continue his bad governance in Guinea-Bissau because you want to stop coups happening in West African countries. Why didn't they send, when there was a coup in Burkina Faso, why didn't they deploy troops to Burkina Faso?
Because it was a successful coup, so it was too late for them to deploy their troops there.
Yeah, but the signs were already there. When Burkina Faso erupted into a lot of protestation across the country, did they do anything?
Nothing.
I think, we can't say much, but just to leave it and see what that also brings. That's all I can say, really.
Yeah. We hope that. I mean, nobody wants coup d'etats to take place. We talk about the fact that it takes the country back. I mean, all the development and everything that we've done when it comes to governance, I mean, it's just thrown out of the window. But if people who have been given that authority to manage or I mean the country are messing up and making people so impoverished, and people look at it and there is no hope for them, then what do you expect them to do?
I can't get it. I mean, they met there and decide, okay, Nigeria and Ghana, spearheaded by Nigeria and Ghana, and decide that, look, because President Akufo-Addo is now the president of ECOWAS, right? So they met in Ghana, all the heads met, all the foreign ministers met, and they decided, look, we need to really set an example. Okay, this is something we've done before, where we were in Guinea-Bissau for 8 years. We can still continue being there for another. How long are they going to be there again? 8 years? To make sure there's no coups happening in Guinea-Bissau? Or if they hear of another coup attempt in any West African country, are they going to organize troops to send off immediately?
They're joking because the issue is Nigeria, who is the most populous country on the African continent. They have not been able to use their own troops to fight the menace in their own country. They've not been able to do so. And you are now going to take some of them out to go and do. Honestly.
I don't know what they are about, really. I mean, they just want their presence felt. I think that is all it is, because for all these other 5 coups that have taken place, they've ignored them. Whatever they said, Niger listened to them, or Mali listened to them. No, none of them. Burkina Faso won't listen to them. So, really, they want to flex their muscles. I'll put it that way.
If Mali has sacked France from their country, talk less. What do you give to them? What contribution do you give to them? Tell you to go to hell, whatever you want to do.
Exactly.
Well.
There was a coup, so if now Mali has a military takeover, so if there is another unsuccessful coup in Mali, are they going to dispatch the military to go there? ECOWAS troops to go into Mali or any of the countries that there have been successful coups, and there is a counter attempt of another coup which didn't succeed. Are they going to follow through and what they are doing in Guinea-Bissau to do with those other countries?
No way, they can't.
They won't.
They won't do that. Okay, we have to be running up because our money man will be coming soon. But Kojo, what have been your top pick throughout the week? There's a few minutes and then we can get our money.
Throughout the week. I think I should be finishing now. Well, I think the top pick, I'll pick it from Ghana throughout the week. Is that there had been a court hearing about the University of Education Winneba. And the 5 people who were dismissed have been reinstated. So I think I'll put it this way: justice works in Ghana. In this, I think the judges have freedom to make past judgment. So that said, I might also declare that I had an interest in this. So I was quite happy that the right thing
has been
done. So all the 5 people who were previously investigated by the Economic Crimes Unit in Ghana, that's ECO, which is Economic and Organized Crime, found them completely innocent. But the Minister for Education still plow on with his intentions of getting rid of them from office. So the court judgment came at the right time. And I think this will stop a few of these things happening to office holders whenever there is a political change or whenever there is a new party wins the election and decide to get rid of people that they perceive to not like. Let me put it that way. So I think that will be end up from that justice and the law seem to work in Ghana.
Okay, Kojo, let me say thank you very, very much for your contribution today.
Thank you.
All right, we'll catch up later.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. Well, listeners, that was Kojo D for you adding his take on the issues that have been discussed. Yes, it is Friday, 12:33 the time. We should be having our money man joining us in a moment. Yes, we're going to be looking at the support the government is looking at rolling out to help you, to help me as well. The measures announced to ease the impact of the high cost of living, which we are already experiencing. You go to the supermarket and everything is high, but your salary is still where it is. The governor of the Bank of England is saying that, look, it's going to take us up to 2023. So we have the next, call it 12 months, going to be tough times. And he's warning that they shouldn't increase the salaries or the wages of people. So, government giving you some money there, but not paying the whole the hike in the energy bill. It's not paying that outright. Now what they are doing is to pay up to about, let me put it this way, maybe across about 350. So where do you get that 340 from to balance the whole thing? How are you going to do that? Well, you want to know more? The money man is going to be joining us in the next few moments, and he's going to be telling you more on that. But let me have a sip of water, and you enjoy. Or we'll take a quick break, and once we come back, we'll have our money man on. Stay tuned. Don't you go away.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and intact? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination intact. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy. Welcome back to the program. It is Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to 23 minutes to the top of the hour. That means 23 minutes to tick tock, one. And we have no other one but the one and only Mr. Dan Tabiri, who has joined us this afternoon. And we are going to our money hour. Well, we are in desperate times, and desperate measures have to be taken. But well, you want to know more? Maybe you're pulling your hair out. But this is a program that when you listen to, advises you what next step to take. And on behalf of our listeners, let me say good afternoon to you, Mr. Dan Tabiri.
Good afternoon to you, Archie.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. By God's grace, I'm well, yeah.
Okay. Thank God now you can hear me. Good. Okay. Now, let's first of all look at yesterday's. Should I say surprise? It's not surprise because we were expecting that.
Yeah.
The two barrage of bullets that was fired. Now the first one pertains to the energy prices that come April is going to go up by 54%, and then the second one is the interest rate that went up 100%. So now, can you touch on this, and then we go on with what its impact is going to be, and then we go on with the measures that government has put in place, sir?
Yeah. So clearly, these are worrying times on the back of a very difficult 2 years coming through the pandemic, and we find ourselves at a position, speaking for the UK economy, we find ourselves in a position where we see hardships coming to the UK households this year, especially expected to, have full impact from the 1st of April 2022, when we expect that the price cap for energy bills is going to go up, and overall on average, we expect that households would feel an increase of about £700 per year as a result of this price cap, and that is if the price cap stays where it is for the rest of the year. Because if something happens, especially the warring scenario happening currently around the Ukraine border, where Russia has amassed troops on the border, if that escalates, we are likely to see further increases in the price of oil and gases, and therefore affecting our electricity bills. So that is where we are at the moment. And so the government has taken some steps, and these steps definitely they cannot absorb the full cost of the energy tariffs that are about to hit us, but they have taken some measures to at least meet us halfway, which is what we see. So the full package that has been given is £350. But the £350, we need to remember, part of it, £200 of it, is being given as a loan, and £150 is what is given as a rebate to us on our council tax bills, which are not repayable. So we'll go into the details of these.
Okay. Listeners, Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, our money man. Lend me your ears and lend him your ears and get it in, because the next 12 months is going to be a bumpy ride. But if you have information, you are able to go through any challenge that you'll be facing, because being forewarned is being forearmed. Okay, so what measures, what do we do? How, with the introduction, you're talking about the 200 and 150. How are people going to get all that? Can you talk to us about that, please?
Yeah, so the relief that has been put across is in two parts. So the government is going to give us £200 off our energy bills with effect from October 2022. This is expected to be, so in October you should expect to see a reduction of £200 on your bill.
Okay, so excuse me there, please. My apologies. A reduction, not that they are sending you a check.
So it will be credited.
Oh, okay.
To your account.
Okay.
So if you don't, what do you call it? People who are paying by direct debit, I think there are different ways in which they would receive their credit. But in effect, you will receive £200 off your bill.
Okay.
But this £200 is effectively a loan. It has to be paid back, and it has to be paid back over 5 years. So from the next year, the government is saying that they're going to take £40 each year. So you see an increase of £40 on your bill for the next 5 years to recoup the £200 that the government is paying upfront. So effectively, it's like an interest-free £200 loan that the government is giving to you. Yeah.
And then please go on.
Yeah. So that is how it's going to be administered. The government is saying that if you feel that you do not need that £200, well, you can pay it back in one go, and they would give us more information as to how that is going to happen. But this is free money. You're not paying any interest, so
why don't you take it?
Exactly. So just take it and then pay it off your bill, £40 as and when it comes. Now, given the scenario we are in at the moment, where we don't know whether where this price cap is going to go.
Yeah.
The government is not saying what it's going to do, but it's more likely that there could be adjustment if the situation changes. Just as we had in the COVID period, where we see, depending on how the variants emerged and how the impact was on the communities, the government responded with varying changes of support to help low-income households, and it's expected that this would be the same.
Okay.
So that's the £200. Now, the other relief comes in the form of council tax rebate. So with effect from the 1st of April 2022, households, nearly about 80% of households who pay income tax within the higher bands of A to D, would receive a £150 rebate. It is expected that if you are on a direct debit payment, your council would effectively send you £150 through your bank account, the same account that you use to make your direct debit payment.
Okay.
If you are not paying by direct debit, the council will find other means, either to send it to you by check or to use the £150 to reduce your council tax bill. So in total, that will be a £350 rebate for all households. Well, it is estimated 80% of households in the UK are expected to benefit, and these are the households who pay their council tax within bands A and D.
Okay. Listeners, it is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. We have Mr. Dan Tebiri, CEO of JL Accountancy Services, talking on the measures that government is taking to ease the impact of the high cost of living. Okay, so you've talked about the 150 that's going to come from council tax, and the 200 that is going to be coming in from October. Now, we know that these bills are coming in from April. Now, so if people are having difficulty in doing that, is there a means to help them? Can they maybe talk to their energy providers or something? Is there something like that that can be done as well?
Well, traditionally, the idea has been that, if you are on one tariff with an energy provider, it makes sense. And Martin Lewis, who is renowned for, helping us to manage our bills, recommends continuously switching your energy provider to save on your energy bills if you have to. So that will move you from one tariff to another. But with the current situation that we are in, all energy providers are facing the same situation. And so switching or sticking to your provider would not help you. If anything at all, the general advice that is to be given is that if at any point in time we all have to be more mindful of the amount of electricity and energy that we use in our homes, then this is a time. We all need to monitor, we all need to try and make small changes that would reduce our usage of electricity. And at this moment where prices are going up and up, that is the only one that we have within our control that we can manage. So any waste, if you have television sets that are left on standby, if you have equipment that are left on standby, you need to start switching these off, and just to save yourself the usage and reduce your bill.
Let me ask you a question there, because we are looking at measures that people can take, personally, to minimize this cost. Now you're talking about standby. Now, when you have your TV, you turn your TV off, you turn your Skybox or whichever version or whichever off, okay? Now, you don't unplug them. So is that what we mean by being on standby?
Yeah, obviously I'm not an energy expert, but I think anything that you can do they give you some tips. Anything that you can do, for example, if you leave a room, you make sure you switch your lights off. If you have to boil the kettle for tea, don't boil a full kettle if you only need a cup. Small changes, small tips. Switching on, if you're not at home, make sure your gas or your electric, if you've got an electric heater, is switched off. Just being mindful of usage at this time is key. In terms of the technicality as to how much usage it does, I want to believe that if equipment are left on standby, even though they are absorbing electricity at a low rate, they are still taking some energy.
That's right.
If you can't switch it off to save, the little that you can, I think it goes a long way over time to save you some money.
As Tesco says, every little counts, so it's very, very important. Exactly. Now let's look at the interest rate, which has gone up by 100%. Let me call it. Now, what's its impact? Because people are paying loans, those who have got savings, and can you throw a bit of light on that for us, please?
Well, the impact is going to hit a lot of people. If you have a mortgage that has been fixed, then you're not going to feel the impact. But if you have a variable rate mortgage, then obviously you have to expect that whatever you're paying at the moment, as interest, is going to double.
Okay.
That effectively is the impact that is going to happen. As we know, the government is concerned, obviously, about this is going to add on to the already high inflation on our basket of goods, and paying, doubling of interest rates is not helping the situation. At the same time, where we are not seeing an increase in wages, that is going to hit us really hard. The Chancellor has announced that there's going to be increases in the living wage from April, and therefore it's expected that wages across board would increase. So we just have to wait and see what the actual impact will be in terms of our increase in our wages, and also how the interest rate rises is going to affect us. But generally, if you're on a variable rate mortgage, then the interest that you're paying on that mortgage is expected to double.
Wow. Listeners, tough times ahead, but listening to Starr Radio UK and listening to our money man gives you all the safety net that you need to go through this year. We know the governor of the Bank of England is saying that it's going to take us up to 2023. Hopefully, putting fingers and everything crossed that the gas prices and everything is going to calm down a bit, and then maybe we can get a bit of relief from there. If not, then you have to make sure that the advice that our money man is giving, you adhere to it, because that is the only way forward. Let me say good afternoon to Charlotte Odum. Charlotte, we hope you are doing very, very well as well, and the little one, regards to them as well. Okay, now, Mr. Tebri, let me leave the ball to your court if you have any other stuff that you have to put across, and then we can run up our conversation. Sir, over to you.
Yeah, so I think this time at any particular, if there's any time at all that we need to be looking at the pennies and looking at our budget, it is this time, because the deepening cost of living crisis is real, and it's going to come, and it's already hitting us with the high inflation we see at the pumps, fuel. When we go to the shops to buy our food, it's hitting us. So we really need to look at the family budget, look at our finances, and see where we can, save some money. If you look at your expenditure carefully, if there's anything that you really do not need, you can afford to cut off, then please do that. Review your spending, and let's save some money for ourselves. Just to go back a little bit on the relief that were announced in terms of to ease the government. Also to add that the government did not, we mentioned on the council tax rebate, that the rebate was for people who were paying council tax on bands A to D.
Yeah.
There are people who are also on bands E to H. These would normally be people who either do not pay any council tax because of the band in which they are, or they are paying much lower for council tax. The government has not forgotten them. Even though they are not paying a council tax, the government is providing discretionary funding of £144 million to local councils so that they can be able to support vulnerable people and individuals on low incomes that do not pay council tax or fall within the band E to H, which these the 150 rebate do not touch. So we don't know exactly how these are going to come, but these might come in the form of rent support or income support, or if you are on any kind of support from the government, from the council, your local council, then they are expected to pass this through those means.
But somebody is asking a question. It says it's pertaining to those who rent. They are renting, and so the landlord says it's all inclusive and something like that. With everything going up, it's automatic that they're going to put the prices of your monthly payment or whatever up as well. Now, would they benefit from that? The government support that has been announced, would they benefit from it?
Right, that's a very good question. So people are renting. If you are renting, you depend on the nature of your rent. You might be paying renting a house, and you are in charge of all the bills. And so, if you are the bill payer, then you are expected to receive the £200 energy bills rebate. The same applies to the council tax. So, if you are the bill payer, then that rebate will come to you. If you are renting, let's say, a shared accommodation, sometimes the rent that you pay already includes the bills. So it includes the electricity, includes the council tax. And if that is the case, then this rebate would go to the landlord. And so if the landlord is increasing your rent to take into account of the increasing cost of the energy bills, by all means, the impact of the energy bills rebate has to be included in that increase. And so some discussion would have to be had. You have to make sure that your landlord is being fair in the increase, and that they ask them, you need to discuss with them, ask them whether they are taking into account the energy bills rebate and the council tax rebate.
Interesting. Now, what about commercial properties? Those who rent or own commercial properties, are they getting any rebate from government, or they not included?
At the moment, I would say not included. But as we know, we have people, the government is still speaking and making consultations and seeing how this affects commercial entities or businesses. So for the moment, the relief that have been announced only affect individuals and residential households.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Can we please run up, sir?
Yeah, so as I've said, let's all look at our spending patterns. Let's look at the nature of our spending. If there's any way we can cut some bills, cut our budget. Let's do that so that when we come through this hardship period, we will be in a better place to be able to, enjoy our life and be more secured financially. If you have any worries or you have any concerns on what we have discussed and you want any advice, please reach out to me on 07961248834, 07961248834, or you can reach me on email at dan@gilaccountants.com, dan@gilaccountants.com, and like I always say, it's accountants with an S.
Thank you very, very much, Mr. Tabri. Now, interestingly, listeners, it's not only pertaining to just advising you on this government measures to help you ease the pain that you're going to be going through for the next 12 years. 12 months. 12 years, people will die. Now 12 months. But he when it comes to your accounting, whatever it is, are you running? Do you have a company? Do you want to do self-assessment? Whatever it is. When it comes to accounting, please get in touch with Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services. His number again, 079-6124-8834. 079-6124-8834. Or email him at gilaccountants.com. Okay, it's accountants with an S. Okay, Mr. Tabiri, let me say thank you very much for this wonderful presentation.
Thank you very much, and it's been a pleasure speaking to you this week.
Yes. Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Well, listeners, that was Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, bringing you the Money Hour today. And this is where I bring the program to a close for today. As I announced earlier on, come Tuesday the 14th. I was waiting for the day that nobody got me the day. It's the 14th of February. Is it? Oh, yeah. Okay. BB Clement will be bringing you BB Means Business, and she will be hosting a very, very special, talented, mega talented singer, a songwriter, a record producer, Sam Henshaw. Now, he is the special guest on BB Means Clement. It's like an increasing number of young people. Sam is charting his own path, combining raw talent and business savvy to build wealth, becoming financially free, to be able to make a lasting contribution to society. Come and be inspired as they discuss what it means to be under 30s and over achieving. My goodness, that is a story that you want to know. Maybe you will learn something from there. So why not make sure you make a date with BB Clement come Tuesday. So on that note, let me say thank you very much to each and every one of you, wherever you are, who have listened to us today. The podcast, the discussion I had with Mr. Dantebury is going to be ready in the next few moments. But the broadcast that we had on all the social media platforms is there. Go there, listen to it, and it will help you a great deal. On that note, let me say thank you very much to Mr. Frank Davids, Mr. Olayomi Koiki, Kojo D, Mr. Dantebury, and to our able producer, Mr. Francis Gai, as well. I say have a top of the day, and bye-bye for now. See you all on Monday, God willing, if we are still alive.
Hungry man say fix the country. Belleful say fix yourself. Who really needs fixing? Now how? Him. Yeah. Come on. Country hot. Country hot. Plenty no get what to eat. Even picking they feel the heat. So we all they pray for change. Gala. Country hot. Country tough. Everybody feel the heat. Even picking they feel the heat. So we all they pray for change. We say fix the country. They say fix yourself. We say fix the country. They say fix yourself. Yeah. Tell me who and you and me be the country. Fix yourself. I agree. We say fix the country. They say fix yourself. Yeah. They say fix the country. They say fix yourself. No. Tell me who, tell me me, tell me you be the country. Fix yourself. I agree. Water plenty, mumu be thirsty. Water plenty, mumu be thirsty. And we get to go to plenty cocoa, but we still they borrow they go to get a job. It be whom you know. We live like crops in a barrel. Shayo, rupa beshi and look. Hey, we say fix the country. They say fix yourself. Yeah. They say fix the country. No. Hey, tell me who, tell me me, tell me you be the country. Fix yourself. I said now you great. We say fix the country. They say fix yourself. Yeah. They say fix the country. We say fix yourself. Hey, tell me who, tell me me, tell me you be the country. Fix yourself. I agree. Your minimum wage be hand to mouth. The government know the pay for money.